I awoke suddenly, unsure what had caused me to wake from my sleep. As I closed my eyes again, I heard the sound of footsteps coming from outside my bedroom door. The footsteps continued a few more seconds before the door to my bedroom slowly creaked open. Horror washed over me like a wave, as I saw a man carrying the lifeless corpses of my parents into my bedroom. He didn't look in my direction at all, walking towards the corner of my room where he proceeded to prop them up on a chair. I was frozen in fear, unable to redirect my gaze from the nightmare unfolding in front of me. The man then moved towards the wall opposite my bed and began to write something with his fingers, using the blood of my parents as his dark red ink. My eyes hadn't adjusted to the dark, and I couldn't make out the message written on the wall. I suddenly snapped from my frozen fear and closed my eyes as tight as I could, hoping that the man would ignore me. As I lay in bed, breathing quietly, I heard the man crouch down into the ground. He slithered his way across the floor, resembling a man-army crawling across the ground. As his movement got closer to my bed, I felt a bump underneath my bed. He had crawled under the bed and ceased to move. His low, shallow breathing could be heard beneath me, as I tried my best to breathe normally and keep myself from crying out in fear. I lay in bed paralyzed, keeping my eyes open to let them adjust to the darkness in case the man tried to crawl out from underneath my bed and prop me up next to my parents to complete the unholy trifecta. He had already started. As time passed, my eyes slowly adjusted to the darkness. I tried my best to keep my gaze from the sight of my parents, but I couldn't help to look. The sight of them anguished me, their lifeless bodies laying there perfectly still like mannequins on display in a clothing store. I slowly moved my gaze to the message on the wall, squinting to read what had been written in the dark red blood. A chill like none before washed over me as I slowly made out the horrific message displayed for me to see. The message read, "I know you are awake." I let out a small gasp of air as the bed beneath me shifted, and my scream pierced the night. I was always uncomfortable with the sheer size of the house I lived in with my parents. Both of my parents were affluent in the business world and had worked extremely hard to acquire the fortune my family possessed. Our house was beautiful, to say the least. It was large, modern, and sat on a large plot of land far away from everything else around it. The only downside to the property was the fact that just a few miles down the road from us was a maximum security prison. My parents had known this before we moved here, but because it was considered maximum security, my parents weren't deterred by the fact. It was a Friday evening and I was alone in the house. My parents had left me here for the weekend, as they were attending a business convention that required them to fly to another state. I had never really liked being home alone, because of the size of the house and the maximum security prison nearby. But I knew that I would be alright. I decided to invite my friend over to spend the night, giving me some company as I had the house to myself for the weekend. My friend arrived and the night was about as normal as it could get. However, as we sat on the couch watching a TV show on our local TV channel, our program was interrupted by a breaking news banner coming from our area's news channel. They had just explained that a convicted serial killer had escaped from the prison that lay down the road from us. I was immediately terrified, as I knew that being home alone in this house wasn't safe with the current circumstances. I immediately called my parents to explain the situation. Though they were worried, they reassured me that I would be okay, and that the house was secure. I called the local police to ask about the danger I was in, but they reassured me that the man would be found soon, and they could even send a squad car over to my house to watch during the night. I asked them for that and tried my best to calm my nerves. As the night progressed, as the sun set, my fears continued to build. My heart was beating and my head hurt from the stress that was building up inside me. I asked my friend if she wouldn't mind sharing the bed with me. As I was afraid, she agreed that it would be best if we stayed together through the night. And as sleep slowly crept into our bodies, we let my dog into the bedroom with us and closed our eyes as dreams filled our minds. I awoke in the middle of the night and opened my eyes to see the light in the bathroom creeping into the darkness of my room. I looked to my left and saw that my friend wasn't there. Assuming she was using the restroom, I checked the clock to my left that read 1 in the morning. I reached down to my bedside and was reassured when my dog licked my hand. I closed my eyes and once again drifted off to sleep. I woke again an hour later to the bathroom light still on. I was a little concerned now, as my friend still wasn't in the bed with me. But I was too tired and fearful to leave the bed, so I reached down for my dog, and was greeted by his tongue once more. I woke up once more and the light was still on in the bathroom. I now knew that something was wrong. I reached down for my dog, but he wasn't there to greet me, so I threw the covers off of me and slowly walked a short distance to the bathroom. As I pushed the door open, I almost fell backward in horror. My dog and my friend were laying dead on the floor, blood covering the bathroom floor like paint splats on a canvas. I turned my head to the mirror to see a message written in the blood that covered the bathroom. The message read, "Humans can lick too." I heard the bed move, and childlike giggle come from behind me, and footsteps thumping on the floor headed towards the now open bathroom door.